Halloween songs from the roots of rock and roll. Hi, everybody. This is Bill Underwood, inviting you to join me in the attic from 9 to noon every Saturday. We'll have some fun, particularly with those Halloween songs. Plus, we have Make Me Witch lottery tickets to give away. The Oldies Attic, streaming on WCCS.com or FM 101.1 or AM 1160.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Good morning. Glad that you're with us here today. As we talk with Sarah Juart and Joe Perkovich, Indiana Area School District, our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack. Voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. They're here to talk about an innovative new program. I don't know. Is it new, Joe?
It is. It's been the last few years we've kind of been fostering it and growing it to create a better environment for college, career, and work readiness at the school.
Yeah, and Sarah just gave it a brand new name. How about that?
I did.
Yeah.
College Career Work Readiness Programming.
Ooh,
yeah,
that is so
fancy.
Good. Do we need to get that approved by the school board, just the name, or can you go ahead and claim it?
I think I'm just going to go ahead and claim it. It's Friday. I'm feeling a little brave.
There you go. There you go. What is it? I guess that's the big question for folks. It matches students who are looking for a little bit of work and experience with people who have jobs available to give them that, right?
That's part of it. So this year we have two different things that we've added. We have a community service board and we have an employment board on the library windows at the high school. And what that is it allows us to promote these different careers, to promote these different jobs. So anybody out there who has an employment opportunity for students, whether now or when they graduate, we can post those on our window. The kids all know that it's there. We have a scrolling marquee in the library window where all those jobs get posted as well. One more aspect of that is we have our Lunch and Learn program, which I was on last year and talked about. During lunch, we have different people from different careers and life paths kind of come in, talk to the kids about what they do, give them a little bit of exposure to those careers. One thing that we've had done from a number of businesses in the area that require maybe a larger group of employees, they can kind of come in and use that as a job recruitment opportunity as well. So we've had a few bigger businesses come in and do that for us as well. And the community service board, all of our seniors are now required to complete 5 hours of community service as a graduation requirement. And I know last year we had some kids come to us and say, hey, I'm having trouble finding community service. What can I do? What can I do? So we've been really pushing this year to reach out to the community, kind of come up with a network of places who have volunteer opportunities. And that way when kids come to me and say, hey, Mr. P, I'm looking for somewhere to volunteer, I can say, here's a list. We have this whole group of people who are willing to have things done. What are you interested in? Who can we get you connected with? And so anybody else out there in the community who has opportunities for community service or a need for high school volunteers, if they reach out to the school, we can put you on our list and gladly get you some kids that way for you.
Yeah, Sarah, this is really the definition of value added, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And it's nice. I mean, I know we've come here and we've talked about it before. So with adding those two components about our job board and our volunteering, we have all the education that they're getting in the classroom. So grades 9 through 12, once a week, we have something called CCER, which is College Career Employment Readiness. So every week they are learning something about career exploration or soft skills in the workplace, whether it be attendance, professionalism, communication. They are getting those skills. So when they come to these lunch and learns or they're checking out the job board or they're going and volunteering, they are bringing some knowledge to the table whenever they go to do that. Then for our seniors, they do take an intensive class called Career and Work Readiness. And we basically talk about how do we have work and home, that balance, that harmony, I guess you could say. So they learn about everything that they need to do in the workplace, some additional things, and then they also learn about, okay, how do you juggle that with everything that you're expected to do at home? So, and it has a lot of financial literacy components in it. And then in addition to the job board, lunch and learns, volunteers, all the classes that they take, seniors can also go out and do an internship if they want to. They have to go through an interview process, have some letters of recommendation. But right now we have 8 students that are out in the community doing internships, and they just got their first quarter evaluations back, and I'm very happy to say they all did extremely well, and they are really enjoying their experiences. They're learning a lot, which is good, because then they can see, when I leave here, am I going to pursue this career, or do I need to maybe explore something different? So that's just our big thing, is just giving them that chance to explore, and have tools in their toolbox when they leave high school.
Sort of like grown-up living 101.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And even, as a parent of a child in the district myself, he's a sophomore. I mean, we're starting to have those conversations. So I feel really good that when he graduates from Indiana, he's going to have that knowledge as far as career exploration and then even just how to live on his own independently. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot of good stuff going at the high school. We're really proud of what we're doing.
Yeah, Joe, I imagine that you've already got some success stories, but you'd like to really build that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had kids that have found long-term employment. We had some kids realize that maybe the path that they were on isn't exactly what they thought it was, and through our lunch and learns and through our employment and job shadows and internship programs, have found different paths that have left school and are very happy doing things maybe in a different way than they had thought before. I had to talk to the kids all the time, and I say, we just want you to have some idea of some things that are out there so that when you leave here, you have a plan, you have some thoughts, and you know what's out there because there are so many careers, and especially in an age where you can work online. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of different things, but we live in an area where we have a small set of things that, kids kind of see and what they can do, and we want to expose them to as much as possible so they know what's out there.
Some kids might say, well, I'm going to college. I really don't have an interest in finding work yet. I just want to be a student for a while longer. But it really enhances their college experience when they have a work background, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. In working, especially in high school, I mean, it promotes all of those the soft skills that we've talked about, where it makes you professional. It teaches you to show up on time and how to maintain relationships in a professional way. And all of those things are super important when you get to college because high school, we're there to kind of help and guide them a little bit more. But when they get to college, it's a little bit more hands-off, and they're on their own, and they have to use those skills that we taught them to use that in an educational capacity as well.
Keeps gas in the Chevy Nova, too.
Yeah, it does.
Because those kids need a little bit of spending money, and they certainly appreciate that. But really, it's all about the experience of getting out into the work field and
absolutely
learning what that's all about. It sometimes, people come into the work field for the very first time, and they may be 22, 23 years old, but it's their first real job experience. They have no idea what they're getting into.
Oh, no. For some of them, we even have that. They will go out and they'll get a job and they'll come back and talk to us. And it's definitely a shock, from being in school all day to then going and working. We've heard some stories, Mr. Perkovich. And we're just like, well, we kind of talked to you about this and this can be expected. But even when they volunteer, they're not getting paid, but they still get so much experience of having to, report to someone and have things to do. And a lot of them, they really enjoy their volunteer experiences as well. They come back and we hear such positive things. So that's why we wanted to reach out to the community and say, if you have job opportunities, volunteer opportunities, our kids, they're interested. They want to get that experience. They want to learn.
All right, Joe. So some company out there wants to do this. What should they do?
Easiest thing, they can call the high school office, get in touch with them, and they can put them in touch with us, and we will post anything that they have, jobs, volunteer. We post it on our student news. In the mornings, we have some TVs around the school that kind of project events that are going on. We promote all of those things very regularly, and they can come to either of us, and we will put them in touch and get you what you need.
Yeah. And the volunteer opportunities, too,
Yes.
that reaches out not just to employers, but now to organizations.
Absolutely, yes.
Nonprofits that would have positions available, and they really are in need. They need folks.
Sure. And we are happy to provide them.
Absolutely. We recently had some kids that volunteered for the Love of Life 5K, and the feedback we got from the kids was they really enjoyed being a part of that.
Oh, yeah.
So, and even for our lunch and learns, if you're someone that would like to come in, you'd like to talk about your career field, talk about your specific business here in Indiana, we gladly welcome that for our lunch and learns as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a great opportunity. I know Salvation Army is looking for people right now, and there are a lot of folks who are in need. So for the service oriented opportunities, those are there, and then job opportunities, and as you said, you might show up in a place and with all kinds of expectations about what you'd like to do and what the job is really like, and find out it's entirely different. And the person down the hall in the next office, they're doing something that's more appealing to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So to have those experiences, and like I said, with the lunch and learn, it allows the kids to get out there and to network. I tell them all the time, through volunteering, through these lunch and learns, you're making connections with people that, 3-4 years after you graduate college, you might be applying for jobs, and then all of a sudden somebody sees a name and it looks familiar, and they're like, oh, I had an experience with them in the past, and, you have a common connection there. Yeah. And that can mean a lot to some time in the future when you're looking for careers.
Looks pretty shiny on a resume.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. So, folks, if you have the opportunity for some students to get into your business or into your organization and help you out, and you can help them out as well, just call the school office. Very good. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us.
We appreciate that so very much. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. So yesterday afternoon, actually, after I left here, I went to Plumville, and Dave McCormick was there. Dave is running for U.S. Senate. He made a run at it with Dr. Oz in the primary last year. He has decided he's going to run again this year. Next year, actually. And so he has entered the Republican primary, and he will be running for U.S. Senate, hoping to be able to match up against Senator Bob Casey. We'll talk with Dave McCormick, and we'll hear that interview in our next half hour. It's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Let's get to the health cycle this morning. Sarah Lee Kessler is here with the Health Beat. Lisa Brady has the house call for health.
Several people in Austria have been hospitalized after reports that fake weight loss medications are circulating in Europe. The cases are thought to stem from people taking what they thought was Ozempic.
Austrian authorities say that the patients were admitted to hospital suffering seizures and hypoglycemia or low glucose levels. The news comes just weeks after the European Medicines Agency warned fake versions of the drug are circulating across several countries. There's been a surge in demand for the Danish-made medication.